foot. He could be out indefinitely. In his place, Dante Calabria hit 8 of his 10 shots, had a career-best 20 points as a starter. Then the slam home followed by Rasheed Wallace, the freshman, helping Carolina with 6 players in double figures roll 116-62. They've won 8 straight, 19 in a row in the Dean Dome. They're 45-2 against non-conference competition there. They open the ACC against NC State and Maryland this week. At McGonigal Hall, a cross-city clash as Temple hosted St. Joe's. Temple thought it had the last basket of the first half, but then this from 70 feet away. Rap Curry threw in one of 7 3-pointers. They only gave him 3 for that. But St. Joe's got nothing like that in the second half. Eddie Jones on the alley-oop from Rick Brunson. Aaron McKee had 24. Jones becomes a 1,000-point scorer for Temple as they beat St. Joe's by 13. They're 6-1. They play Atlantic 10 games at home this week against West Virginia and George Washington. 10th-ranked Purdue on the road at San Francisco. Gene Keady all smiles. Why? Because he's got Mr. Robinson. Glenn with the follow slam. They led by as many as 20 over the Dons. The Dons come back. Their gunner is Gerald Walker. Way out, got his team within 6. Then off the steal, he jams it. They tie the game at 62. Walker had 2 dozen, but nobody could stop Robinson, who scores his 1,000th of the Boilermaker, had 32 points and 14 boards. They hold the Dons scoreless the final 4 minutes. They're now 11-0, their best start in more than 80 years.
Take you to Madison. They're still talking football, but we're playing basketball. Badgers tough early. Tracy Webster, Rashard Griffith misses, cleans up his mess. Griffith had 13. Badgers by 1 at the half. Second half, Darnell Hoskins, good. Finds Michael Finley, who buries the 3. Badgers are led with his 14 points. And then Hoskins, the juke, takes it the distance, the kiss off the glass. Badgers win it 71-52. The Badgers improved to 12-0. Their next game, Thursday, as they start Big Ten play at Penn State. It took 88 years for Texas to visit a Big Ten arena during the regular season, and once they did, they lost. They shot just 36% from the floor.
Between the 2, Corliss Williamson paced the Razorbacks. They're the easy 2 with the slam. Williamson would do it again, this time inside the power move. He had 21. But John Shoemate's guys kept pace with the Razorbacks. How about James Gatewood? Putting one through, you could say, with authority. He had 16. Arkansas, though, too strong down the stretch. Scotty Thurman the steal. Corey Beck able to finish. And they would run some more. Roger Crawford coming through. He had the easy bucket. A 17-2 spurt midway through the second half enabled the Razorbacks to pull away. Tough to beat the top team in the land when you commit 30 turnovers, as SMU did, only twice. Hosting Boston University, Jimmy King, the ho-hum layup. Wolves up 22 at the break. Hardest working man on the court for BU. Tried to keep him in the game. James Brown, the dunk. Michigan was on. They shot 64% from the field. Even when they missed, they scored. Ray Jackson the follow. Then it was Rose. Down low, not a problem. He finished with 19 as Michigan goes on to roll. So the Wolverines do bounce back in a big way. Coach Steve Fisher admitted we needed to shake off the hangover. Timberwolves' Doug West was in the house. First half, Ariel McDonald, the behind-the-back pass to Bashan Leonard, didn't count because McDonald was fouled before he made the pass. This one did count. Late first half, the alley-oop to Leonard for the jam. He had 17. Then David Grimm misses the reverse, but Ernest Zigamazambo is there for the follow. That one didn't count either. Offensive goaltending. Clem Haskins is not happy with the call, but I think he will take the win. Minnesota went inside all night against their smaller opponent to be this time of year. GW and the Bonnies. Incadare had the slam there, but too much. Harry Moore, that's right. The spin, give me a kiss off the glass, and that wasn't all. Then the shake without the break, cans the jumper. Bonnie Fever, catch it. They go on for their first regular season Atlantic 10 win in 17 tries. GM coach Mike Jarvis had called a set play at the end that Omo Moses elected to disregard. When you do that, you better score. He didn't. The shot never even made the rim. That's upsetting. Craig.
Raleigh and his team, they don't run anymore. Couple misses inside Smith, and then Patrick Savoy. And then it's Smith outside. The air ball, Dayton Thomas finger roll, no. Corey Alexander. The bricks hurt so bad he needed a Band-Aid. Junior Burrow comes through for UVA. Great spin move. It's the fewest points ever scored by UNLV. Their previous low was 41. They shot just 22% from the floor. Junior Burrow led the Cavs with 19 points and 7 boards. Reggie Manuel had 14 for the Rebs. BYU, New Mexico, first half Cougars hold their own. Robbie Reed shoots. On the rebound, Greg Wilcox spins and drops the 2, At the half, BYU down by 3. Second half belonged to the Lobos. Greg Brown leads the way with this 3. 5 threes on the night. More Brown used the body nicely, scores. He had 35. New Mexico wins. They improved to 9-2. Brown was 11 for 17 from the floor. The Cougars are now 7-3. Trelawney Owens scores 21 as Wake Forest beats Larry Fogel's alma mater 75-51. And West Virginia improves to 7-1 as they edge Rhode Island. Let's check some more scores for Monday night.
For Nebraska, Iowa State, Cyclones looking for a team record 23rd straight home win. Terrence Badgett rejected, but the ball stays in play. Badgett's worst mistake, he tries it again. Doesn't work a second time either. Bivens sends it courtside. Eric Piatowski, a bona fide star with the jam. He had 28 as Nebraska goes on for the win. They snap Iowa State's home winning streak and held them to 21 points below their average. One factor that might have been involved, Cyclones coach Johnny Orr didn't start his top 3 scorers because they were late for a team meeting earlier in the day. The WAC opener for both Utah and UTEP. Mark Ravech misses. Freshman Keith Van Horn, he's there for the jam. Van Horn had 17. Rick Majerus wants more at the half. Utah 47-29. Antoine Gillespie, the 3. That would end a 17-zip run for the Miners, 55-49. Jim Bice and Ravech get into a little skirmish at the end of it. Watch out for the retaliation, which you didn't see, but it wasn't all that important there. Retaliation, you always get caught anyway. 79-62 is your final.
Their only loss was to Kansas by 5 points. And we'll pick up the action. First half, Dayton shooting the 3. Chris Daniel misses the free throw. Darnell Hahn gets the board. We switch cameras and nails the 3. Hahn had a career-high 19 points, but DePaul has Tommy Kleinschmidt. Quick pass to Bryant Bowden for the dunk. Actually, it's Bowden. That's correct. And there's Kleinschmidt, drains a 3. He scored 20. DePaul wins 98-86. The Blue Demons shot.
That was when the coach was the captain. Rick Pitino, well, he takes a very bad hit early. Rodney Dent, his left knee, gets rolled into. Initial prognosis on Rodney Dent, a torn anterior cruciate ligament. He may be gone for the year. Wildcats up 10. Roderick Rhodes spins and puts it up and in. He had 20, and Dent is on the sideline where he may spend the rest of the year. Once again, Rodney Dent will have tests on his knee Wednesday. He could very well be out for the year. Dent is averaging over 11 a game, second on the team in rebounding and block shots. The Big East, big bad Georgetown, traveling into Connecticut. How about big bad Donyell Marshall? Misses, gets his own board, puts it up and in. UConn, 9-1, quick lead. Donyell again. Coast to coast. John Thompson, wish I had a Donyell on my team. Donyell does it again. First, he blocks Othello Harrington. See you later, Othello. Down the other end, who leads the field? Donyell. Love when a big man runs. His stock keeps rising. His 9th straight 20-point game, 77-65. The Huskies held the Hoyas scoreless for 7 minutes and opened up a 17-point halftime lead. The Hoyas out-rebounded 39-28. Also in the Big East, BC, Villanova. Steve Lapis, 0-3 lifetime against the Eagles. Mark Polinsky to Billy Curley for the dunk. He had 27 on 8 of 11 from the field. Alvin Williams, the alley-oop to Kerry Kittles. Villanova up 3 at the break. Second half, Curley. One of his 15 rebounds. Howard Isley. He'll bury the 3. He scored 25 as BC pulls away and wins 96-84. This is the 3rd time this season the Eagles have connected from long distance at least 10 times.
Jumped out to a 17-2 lead. 3-on-2, Joe Smith, the freshman. Yeah, with authority. Maryland up 17. Tech roars back, but James Forrest misses the turnaround. They're down 3. Keith Booth on the other end throws it down. Georgia Tech loses 91-88, despite Forrest scoring 36. Tech never led and trailed by as many as 18 points. They shot just 40%, while Maryland hit on nearly 54% from the floor. UMass over Rutgers. UMass has now won 7 in a row and improves to 10-1 overall. Marcus Camby, 13 points with 8 boards and 8 blocks, a 10-point lead early. But Louisville comes back in the first half. Off the block, Dwayne Morton lobs to Dwayne Morton. Creative, he had 31. More Dwayne Morton. The steal. Down the other end, the layup missed. Alvin Sims throws it home. Cardinals romp 132-87, all-time single-game scoring record for Louisville. At Northwestern, Gene Cady in trouble. They're down 13 in the first half. Here comes Glenn Robinson. 2 of his 34, Purdue by 5 at the half. End of the game, Purdue is down 1. Closing seconds, Robinson with the ball. The dribble, baseline, fake, shot. It's good. Purdue up 1. One last chance, Pat Baldwin. Inbound pass coast to coast. Shot in the air. No. Rebound loose. Purdue secures it. Gene Cady. Ricky Birdsong hug as Purdue squeaks by 68-67. Robinson didn't score for the first 7.5 minutes. Northwestern coach Birdsong said it came down to a superstar as good as advertised. The 12-0 start for Purdue is the school's best since 1911-1912. Michigan State versus Michigan. Judd Heathcote not wearing the usual Spartan green. Sean Respert guaranteed a victory. Swatted by Ray Jackson. Respert would answer with the 3. He led the Spartans with 22. Who was at the game? Barry Sanders. State hung close, but a 7-0 run by Michigan put them away. Dugan Fife, the big 3. He scored 13. Michigan wins it. Fife, the only non-Fab 5 starter, said afterwards, growing up in the state and having my dad go to Michigan, it's in my blood not to like Michigan State. His father, Danny, was captain of the 71 Wolverines. To the ACC, NC State at North Carolina. Derek Phelps. Oh, the jump shot is hit. Dante Calabre. Dante's Inferno hit his first 3-pointers, bringing Donald Williams to his feet, sitting this one out with tendonitis. Then it's allowed to Jerry Stackhouse, throws it down. Still more heels. Nice ball movement. Rasheed Wallace, who had 15, heels roll by 30. Tar Heels shot 62% from the floor, while the Wolfpack just 30%. Wallace missed just 1 shot and 8 attempts from the floor. Karl, closer with the emphasis on slightly. Corliss Williamson came into the game leading the Razorbacks in scoring. Scotty Thurman, nice fade to Williamson for the hoop and the foul. Arkansas in the middle of a 19-0 run. Center Dwight Stewart, the 3. Arkansas by 24. Then off the defensive pressure, Thurman the steal. Lobs for Roger Crawford for the slam. Arkansas rolls. They win it 87-61. Arkansas blew the game open with a 20-0 run in the first half. They lead the all-time series with Ole Miss 28-5. ASU versus Arizona. Lute Olson, Bill Frieder. A pleasant chat before tip-off. First half, Khalid Reeves in transition. He scored 24 points. Cats rolling early. Frieder not a happy coach, but he liked what he saw of Isaac Burton, the big block on Damon Stoudemire. Burton had 29 points, 5 threes. Wildcats too much. Joseph Blair, alley-oop jam, 2 of his 11. Arizona cruises 98-81. Stoudemire scores 30. Ray Owes tied a career high with 15 boards. He also scored 14. State loses at Arizona's McHale Center for the 11th. Number 3 Blue Devils. Jeff Brown puts it up. Sharon Wright goes in, spins off Cherokee Parks. 15 points, 18 boards for Wright. Clemson by 3 at the half. Duke press in the second. Chris Collins with the pass to Grant Hill. He had 22. Antonio Lang put the icing on the cake with the jam. He had 13. Duke wins it. Big Cherokee Parks had 12 points, 12 boards, and 4 blocks. Grant Hill said after the game, we knew we weren't going to blow them away. Karl?
The Tigers up 1. Lon Kruger diagrams the play. He wants Dan Cross to go one-on-one. And he shoots and scores, so the Gators are back up 1. One more chance. Owens for the win, off the rim and out. Rebound. Gators. Craig Brown leads the way with 14. Final score.
Last year, Lamont Murray and Jason Kidd, Cal's big 2. First, Murray calls for the ball. He gets it and dunks the ball. That's what you're supposed to do with. Then Kidd, the pass to Murray over everyone for the jam. Cal by 16. Then the inbounds. Play number 1. It's a good idea. What a play it was. That'll do it. The crowd loves it. Cal goes on for the win. 70-54. Lamont Murray's 36, a career high, and the best offensive effort by a Cal player in 12 years.
And Rodney Dent sitting in a seat he did not want to be sitting in. Tony Delk, one of the men, picking up the slack with a 3. He had a team-high 16, looking to fill Dent's shoes. How about filling the air? Andre Riddick was the only hoop. Got to stop hitting himself in the head. Lonnie Williams, the lone Irish in double figures, had 19. The Wildcats, how deep are they? Anthony Epps, Walter McCarty, UK by 25. Mel Martinez had 14 points, and the final was 84-59. Cats' 30th straight win at Rupp Arena. That ties the school mark. Irish turned it over a season-high 34 times, and Travis Ford keeps on moving. A consecutive free throw mark now at 49. Wisconsin over Penn State, Big Ten. The Badgers off to their best start in more than 75 years. Clifford Rozier out ahead of the pack, gets the ball, and he scored 14. Then it's Greg Minor. Little backdoor alley-oop, and he scored 19. Cardinal fast break starts with a board man. DeJuan Wheat to Minor for the dunk. The lead is 17. And how about Jason Osborne? Follow your shot, people. Total team effort. Denny Crum's Cardinals go on for the win. He told his team, hey, you play no D, you get no playing time.
7 Temple. Eddie Jones ahead on the break, mishandles the dribble, but stays with it for the layup. Temple building a 9-point lead. But West Virginia came on a 9-zip run. Rick Brunson rejected by Rivera's screen. West Virginia works it to Mike Boyd for the jumper. Then after Brunson nailed the 3 to tie the game late, West Virginia going for the win. A missed layup, but nobody blocks out Rivera's screen. And here he will get the easy layup. That is the game winner as time runs down. The celebration would ensue, and West Virginia hangs on. They improves to 8-1, 2-0 in the Atlantic 10. Both teams handled the ball poorly, though. The Mountaineers turned it over 18 times, Temple 14. Elsewhere, number 6, UCLA at home versus Oregon. Charles O'Bannon driving, kicks it out to Tyus Edney, who hits the 3, draws the foul for the 4-point play. UCLA led by 10 at the half. Second half, same combination. Tyus Edney hits Charles O'Bannon, backdoor for the alley-oop jam. Bruins up by 12, and they would win by 16. The Bruins improved to 8-0 with their first conference win. O'Bannon and Edney leading the way with 15 apiece. The Ducks fall to 4-2.